This episode of One Punch Man is a real home run as Metal Bat steps up to the plate and knocks one out of the park. 3 baseball puns in 1 intro. I guess you could say 3 strikes, and I'm out of here. If you wanted to see a grown man beat a giant centipede monster to death with a metal bat, then this is the episode for you. It's time to take a look at another episode of One Punch Man Season 2. And I can honestly say I had a lot of fun with this episode. I'm also going to go ahead and put up that spoiler warning if you haven't watched this episode, as there's a lot of really big developments and even the introduction of a new character in a post-credit scene. I'm also going to say that this review is going to be very short because I'm very short on time myself, so I just want to give my quick thoughts about this episode. The main story this week is that Saitama is getting ready to enter the Super Fight competition, not only to hopefully find someone who's as strong as he is, but also to earn a little bit of money on the side. And it's also an excuse to introduce another character, a former student of Silver Fang Bang himself. It goes by the name of Sourface. He's big, he has an ass for a chin, which seems to be sort of like the calling card of the creator of this series, and he also has a really big grudge with Charanko, but more in particular with Garo, who pretty much ruined all of Silver Fang's teachings for his students, basically forcing them all to leave knowing how dangerous his teachings were, and how Garo could eventually screw all of that up. A lot of the tension and funny from this scene came from the fact that Saitama was constantly trying to hide his identity, and learning that if he actually commits fraud or has a disguise in this big competition, he could actually end up getting in a lot of trouble or possibly even go to jail. But that's kind of like the B story. The main story of this episode all involves Metal Bat, a character that I really loved from the first season. Unlike a lot of the other heroes in the series, he is not very flashy at all. He's basically just a stereotypical Japanese delinquent who uses a metal bat to beat the hell out of things. His special power is that he allows himself to get pumped up, and he can swing that thing like frickin' Superman. In this episode, he's having to guard these 2 people who are constantly being attacked by these giant centipede monsters. And they have hilarious names, like Senta Kohai and Senta Sensei. If there's one thing that the One Punch Man series does really well, it's naming its villains. And the actual battle here is really intense and manages to just continue to get crazier as the episode goes on, with Metal Bat single-handedly taking out most of them until this one massive one just decides to start attacking the city, and he can't even seem to take it down himself. While all of this is going on, Garo is getting ready to try and find him as he's trying to find a new hero to battle. I was kind of hoping that they would start to introduce the character of Watchdog Man just a little bit more, because I've had my eye on that character since the very first season, as he just resembles Saitama so much, to the point where I think there might even be some sort of a connection between the 2 characters. The implication, of course, also being that this character is incredibly strong, but it looks like Garo is actually going to be throwing down with Metal Bat in the next episode, and I'm very pumped to see all that. So what's the rundown on this episode of One Punch Man? So many exciting things going on in this episode. Most of it, though, is dedicated to the character of Metal Bat, who, again, like I said, a very simple but very fun character, and the battles that he has against all of these monsters are incredibly satisfying. The fact that he can actually take down these kaiju-level monsters with just a metal bat itself is really freaking impressive. I also really loved the side story with Saitama. It managed to be pretty funny in that typical sort of awkward Saitama way, and at the very end of the episode, they even introduce a brand new character who is this martial artist who looks like he's going to be a part of the Super Fight competition, and he's clearly going to be important as he is featured in the intro of the show. Again, I don't read the manga, so I don't know how big this character is going to be, but they do introduce him, but I don't know what his name is yet. All I know is I'm excited to see all of it go down. This episode ultimately, though, was a build-up to the battle between Metal Bat and Garo, and I can't wait to see it kick off. I'm giving the episode a 4 out of 5. You guys need to check it out, and I would love to get your thoughts about this episode in the comment section below. If you had any favorite scenes, if you liked all of the action with Metal Bat, and what you hope to see in the battle between him and Garo, and of course more of the build up to the big Super Fight competition. Can't wait to see what all of that's about. Let's just get a discussion going about that episode in the comment section below. I hope to get a little more detailed in my next review, and I also have some big announcements coming up for the channel soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down, baby.